The real conflict between looking successful and building assets. Let me start with an uncomfortable observation. Most people who look financially successful are actually the furthest from being financially secure. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're bad with money, but because they're playing a game where appearance quietly competes with progress. And in that game, appearance usually wins. This isn't about bad decisions, it's about invisible pressure. Let me explain. Imagine a fairly normal situation in the United States or Europe. You're in your late 20s or early 30s. You went to university or college. You got a decent job, not amazing, not terrible, something that pays around $60,000 a year in the US, or maybe 45,000 euros in Europe. On paper, you're doing fine. But after taxes, that number shrinks fast. In the US, 60,000 becomes roughly 44,000 after federal, state, and payroll taxes. In much of Europe, 45,000 euros might turn into around 30,000 take-home. So now we're dealing with about $3,500 a month, or roughly 2,500 euros. This is the real number. This is the money your life actually runs on. Now let's talk about where it goes. You rent an apartment, not luxury, just normal. In many US cities, that's $1,400 to $1,800. In Europe, maybe 900 to 1,300 euros. Already, close to half your income is gone. Then there's transportation. Maybe you have a car because you need it for work, or maybe you financed one because everyone around you did. $400 a month, $500, sometimes more. Add insurance, add fuel, add maintenance. Now we're well past 50% of your income being committed. Then come student loans, credit cards, phone plans, subscriptions you don't remember signing up for. And here's the interesting part. None of this feels irresponsible. You're not wasting money. You're just maintaining a lifestyle that looks normal. And that's exactly where the problem starts. Because modern financial pressure doesn't come from luxury, it comes from normalization. Let's talk about success, not as wealth, but as a visual. In most Western societies, success has a look. A newer car, a clean apartment in a good area, branded clothes, even if they're subtle, eating out sometimes, going on trips occasionally. Nothing extreme, just enough to signal that you're doing well. And this signal is powerful. Because humans are social creatures, we subconsciously measure safety and status by how well we blend in with our peer group. If everyone around you is upgrading their lifestyle, standing still feels like falling behind. So you don't ask, "Can I afford this?" You ask, "Is this reasonable for someone like me?" That's a very different question. Here's where the hidden conflict begins. Money has two possible jobs. One job is to make your life look stable and successful right now. The other job is to quietly buy your future freedom. The problem is, most dollars can only do one of those jobs at a time. When you use money to signal success, it stops working for you long term. And this trade-off is almost never discussed openly. Let's make it painfully simple with numbers. Imagine you spend $500 a month on things that are purely about lifestyle appearance. A slightly nicer car, a better apartment than you truly need, eating out more than you actually value. 500 doesn't sound dramatic, but $500 invested monthly over 30 years at a conservative 7% annual return, that's over $600,000. Not theoretical, not fantasy, just math. But when you're 28, $600,000 feels abstract. A nicer car feels real, so the future loses the argument. Every time. Now here's the part most people misunderstand. This isn't about discipline, it's about psychology. Humans are terrible at valuing slow, invisible rewards. We evolved to prioritize immediate social safety over distant outcomes. In the past, being accepted by the group meant survival. Being excluded meant danger. So your brain doesn't panic about not investing. It panics about not fitting in. That's why buying something visible feels reassuring, and saving or investing feels oddly unsatisfying. Nothing changes on the outside. No one notices. There's no signal. And because there's no signal, it doesn't feel like progress. This is why so many financially intelligent people look underwhelming. They don't advertise their progress. Their assets are boring. Index funds, retirement accounts, equity quietly compounding. No emotional payoff, no social validation, just time and math. And that makes them invisible. Meanwhile, the people with the nicest lifestyles often live paycheck to paycheck, not because they're careless, but because their money is fully employed maintaining an image. Let's look at the long-term impact if this conflict goes unresolved. Fast forward 10 or 15 years. Your income probably increases, but so does your lifestyle. Bigger apartment, better car, more commitments. And because you never built asset momentum early, your money is still working overtime just to keep up. At this point, stepping off the treadmill feels impossible. You're not poor, but you're not free. You can't take risks. You can't reduce work stress. You can't say no easily. Your life looks successful, but it's fragile. One job loss, one health issue, one economic downturn, and suddenly the illusion cracks. Now, let's quietly shift perspective. Financially intelligent people don't think in terms of what can I afford, they think in terms of what am I trading. Every dollar spent on lifestyle is a dollar not buying future options. They understand that wealth is not what you display, it's what you control. And control is boring at first. It shows up as lower stress, more patience, the ability to wait. They delay visible success because they're buying something invisible, time. This doesn't mean living miserably. It doesn't mean rejecting comfort. It means being honest about what actually improves your life versus what just signals improvement. A quieter apartment in a cheaper area might reduce stress more than a luxury one. A reliable used car might give you more peace than a financed upgrade. Cooking at home might buy you flexibility rather than deprivation. But notice what's missing here. There's no extreme frugality, no sacrifice narrative, no hustle culture, just alignment. Your money stops trying to impress others and starts protecting you. Here's the subtle truth most people discover too late. Looking successful delays real success because the reward systems are inverted. Visible success gives instant validation, but long-term pressure. Asset building gives delayed validation, but long-term relief. Once you see this clearly, guilt disappears. You're not failing, you're just choosing which timeline you're optimizing for. And clarity is the real upgrade. So, if this video changed how you think about success, even slightly, consider subscribing. Not for motivation, not for hacks, just for clearer thinking around money and life. That's all.